she shouted. I make the rules in this relationship, don't forget that. I said, thanks for clarifying. When the police read her the actual rules written in law, she didn't argue back anymore. I, 29 male, finally understood where I stood in my relationship last Tuesday. After 3 years with Veronica, 31, she made it crystal clear during what should have been a normal disagreement about weekend plans. We were in the kitchen. I'd mentioned wanting to visit my brother for his birthday that Saturday. She was stirring pasta sauce, and without even turning around, she said, "No, we're going to my friend's engagement party." Babe, I already told him I'd be there. Can't we do both? Hit the party for a couple hours then. The spoon clattered against the pot. She spun around, sauce splashing onto the stovetop. Are you seriously questioning me right now? I'm not questioning anything. I'm trying to find a compromise. That's when she walked up to me, index finger jabbing toward my chest. Listen carefully, because I'm only saying this once. I make the rules in this relationship. Don't forget that. When I say we're doing something, that's what we're doing. Period. I just stared at her. 3 years, and she'd never been this blunt about it. Sure, she'd always been assertive. I'd made excuses. She's passionate. She knows what she wants. She's a strong woman. But hearing it spelled out like that? Thanks for clarifying, I said, and walked out of the kitchen. She called after me, something about dinner being ready in 10 minutes and I better be back at the table. I kept walking. Grabbed my keys, my wallet, my phone, got in my car and drove to my buddy Derek's place. Derek took one look at my face and handed me a beer. Didn't even ask what happened at first. That's why we've been friends since college. So, he said after I'd downed half the bottle, you finally gonna tell me what's up? I told him everything, not just that night, but all of it. How she'd slowly taken control of my finances because she was better with money. How my friends had become our friends and then just her friends because mine were apparently immature. How family gatherings were scheduled around her calendar, never mine. How she monitored my phone because couples shouldn't have secrets. Dude, Derek said when I finished, that's not a relationship. That's a dictatorship. Yeah. I peeled at the label on my beer bottle. Guess I needed to hear her actually say it out loud to believe it. My phone had been blowing up the whole time. 23 texts, 9 calls. The text started angry, shifted to concerned, then back to furious. The last one, if you're not home in 30 minutes, I'm changing the locks. Here's the thing. It was my apartment. I'd been renting it for 2 years before she moved in. Her name wasn't on the lease. But somehow, in her mind, she had the authority to change my locks. You going back? Derek asked. Eventually, but not tonight. I crashed on his couch, woke up to 52 texts and 17 missed calls. Also 3 voicemails that I deleted without listening to. I knew what they'd say. Instead of going home, I went to work, focused on my projects, had lunch with a coworker I hadn't talked to in months because Veronica didn't like her. Felt like a human being for the first time in ages. After work, I drove to my apartment. Her car was in the visitor spot. She'd never gotten a resident sticker because that would require putting her name on something official. The lights were on in my unit. I walked in to find her on the couch, surrounded by tissues. The anger evaporated from her face when she saw me, replaced by tears. Baby, I was so worried. Where were you? Why didn't you answer? I needed space to think. Think about what? Us? Are you breaking up with me? I don't know. Maybe. Probably. The tears stopped like someone had turned off a faucet. You can't break up with me. Pretty sure I can. No. She stood up and there was that finger again, pointing at me. I decide when this relationship ends, not you. I make the rules, remember? Right. About that, I don't agree to those rules anymore. She laughed. Actually laughed. You don't get to disagree. That's not how this works. Then I guess it doesn't work. You're being ridiculous. Go take a shower. I'll order Thai food and we can pretend this never happened. Veronica, I want you to move out. Excuse me? This is my apartment. You need to find somewhere else to live. You can't kick me out. I live here. You're not on the lease. You don't pay rent. You're a guest who's overstayed their welcome. Her face went through about 5 different emotions before settling on rage. You think you can just throw me out? After everything I've done for you? I made you better. I fixed you. I didn't need fixing. Yes, you did. Your clothes were pathetic, your friends were losers, your family is trash. Without me, you're nothing. Then I guess I'll be nothing, but I'll be nothing in my own apartment. You have 30 days to find a new place. She picked up a vase, one I'd bought before I met her, and I thought she might throw it. Instead, she set it down carefully. This isn't over. Yeah, it is. I went to my bedroom and locked the door. She pounded on it for a while, shouting about how I'd regret this, how I needed her, how no one else would put up with me. Eventually she gave up. That was 6 days ago. I thought that would be the end of it. I'd give her the legally required notice, she'd move out, we'd go our separate ways. I was so naive. I'll update you all on what happened next. Let's just say when someone tells you exactly who they are, I make the rules. Believe them. And when you refuse to follow those rules, be prepared for war. Update 1. Hey everyone. Thanks for all the support on my first post. Some of you warned me it would get worse before it got better. You were right. So after I told Veronica she had 30 days to move out, I thought she'd either try to win me back or start packing. Instead, she did neither. She acted like nothing had happened. The next morning, I woke up to her making breakfast. Full spread, eggs, bacon, pancakes. She was humming, wearing one of my t-shirts and nothing else. Morning, baby, she said, like we hadn't just broken up. I made your favorite. Veronica, we talked about this. No, you talked. I didn't agree to anything. She set a plate in front of me. Eat up. We have Costco run planned for today. We don't have anything planned. We're not together anymore. She tilted her head like I was speaking a foreign language. Don't be silly. Couples fight. Now eat your breakfast before it gets cold. I didn't eat. I grabbed a granola bar and left for work. When I came home that night, she'd rearranged the entire living room. My living room. Moved the couch, the TV, everything. There were new throw pillows I'd never seen before. What did you do? I feng shuied the space. It had terrible energy flow. No wonder you've been so negative lately. You can't just... I stopped. Arguing was pointless. Please don't move my stuff. Our stuff? She corrected. And I make the decisions about our home. I put everything back after she went to bed. The next day, things escalated. I came home to find my gaming setup dismantled. My PC, my console, my monitors, all unplugged and stuffed in the closet. Where's my computer? You spend too much time on those games. It's not healthy. I decided you need a digital detox. You decided? That's a $3,000 setup. Money you could have spent on us, on our future. But don't worry, I'm not throwing it away. You can have it back when you learn to manage your time better. I set it all back up immediately. She stood in the doorway, watching with this smirk. This is exactly why you need me, she said. You have no self-control. Get out of my room, our room, and I'll go where I please in my own home. That's when I installed a lock on my bedroom door. She lost it when she saw me drilling the holes. You can't lock me out, I'm your girlfriend. Ex-girlfriend. And yes, I can lock my door in my apartment. She tried to grab the drill from me. I pulled it away and she stumbled. Barely touched the wall, but she acted like I'd shoved her. Did you just assault me? What? No, you tried to grab. You pushed me. I could call the police. Please do. I'll show them the lease with only my name on it and ask them to remove you. She backed off, but I could see the wheels turning. Day 3 is when it got really bad. I woke up at 3 a.m. to banging. She was in the living room with a hammer, hanging pictures, photos of us from trips, family events, everything. What are you doing? It's 3 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. Thought I'd make this place feel more like home. The neighbors will complain. Let them. I don't care what anyone thinks. I make the decisions here. Sure enough, building management called the next day about noise complaints. I explained the situation. They reminded me that as the leaseholder, I was responsible for any guest's behavior. That evening, I found her in my home office, on my laptop. What are you doing? Updating your resume. It's terrible. No wonder you're stuck in that dead-end job. That's my work laptop. You can't. She'd already sent emails. To my boss. To my boss. Saying I was looking for new opportunities and wanted to transition out of my role. I spent the next morning doing damage control. Told my boss my ex had gotten into my laptop that I wasn't leaving. He was understanding but warned me to keep personal drama out of the office. When I confronted Veronica, she shrugged. You need a better job. I was helping. You could have gotten me fired. Don't be dramatic. I know what's best for you. That's when I served her with a formal eviction notice. Had it notarized and everything. She laughed when I handed it to her. This is cute. You think a piece of paper means anything? It means you have 30 days to leave, or I'll have you removed. I'd like to see you try. That night, she cooked dinner again. Made my favorite, ribeye steak just how I like it. Opened a bottle of wine. Lit candles. Wore that dress I'd bought her for her birthday. Can we please just talk? She said, like adults. Against my better judgment, I sat down. Maybe we could end this civilly. I know I come on strong sometimes, she started, but it's only because I love you. I see your potential. I know what you could be with the right guidance. I don't need guidance. I need a partner, not a life coach. But you do need guidance. Look at your life before me. You were stagnant. Same job, same friends, same routine. I pushed you to be better. You pushed me to be what you wanted. She reached across the table for my hand. I pulled it back. Don't you love me? She asked. I did. But love isn't about control. It's not control, it's structure, leadership. Every relationship needs a leader, and I'm better suited for it. Why? Because I know what I want. You're wishy-washy. You let people walk all over you. Like you've been doing? Her face hardened. I've never walked over you, I've elevated you. There's a difference. I want you out, Veronica. And I want $1 million and a beach house. We don't always get what we want. This isn't a negotiation. Everything's a negotiation, and I don't lose. She stood up, started clearing the dishes. Then, out of nowhere, she threw a plate against the wall. It shattered, sending pieces everywhere. Oops, she said, deadpan. Guess you'll need new dishes. Good thing I know where to get some nice ones. I spent an hour cleaning up the mess while she sat on the couch, scrolling through her phone. Every time I passed, she'd make some comment. Missed a spot? You should vacuum again. Maybe if you cleaned regularly, this wouldn't be so hard. The next day, I came home to find my door lock had been tampered with. Scratches all around the keyhole. It still worked, but barely. Did you try to break into my room? I don't know what you're talking about, she said, not looking up from her laptop. Maybe you did it and forgot. You've been so stressed lately. That's when I installed a camera in my room. Didn't tell her about it. 2 nights later, I caught her on video trying to pick the lock at 2 a.m. with what looked like a bobby pin. When I confronted her with the footage, she didn't even deny it. I needed to get my earrings. You locked them in there. You don't have earrings in my room. Yes, I do. You just didn't notice them. Veronica, this is breaking and entering. You can't break into your own home. It's not your home. Says who? I've lived here for 2 years. I get mail here. Common law says, we're not common law married. Prove it. That's when I realized this wasn't going to end peacefully. She genuinely believed she owned not just the apartment, but me. In her mind, her rules superseded any actual laws or social norms. But here's what she didn't count on. I'd been documenting everything. Every text where she claimed ownership of my property. Every incident of her moving my things. The attempted break-in. The thrown plate. The emails to my boss. I thought I had enough to get a restraining order if needed. Thought I was prepared. I wasn't prepared for what happened 2 days ago. I'll post the final update soon. Let's just say when someone who thinks they make all the rules meets the people who actually enforce them, reality hits different. Final update. This is it, everyone. The conclusion to this insane chapter of my life. After catching Veronica trying to break into my room, I knew I needed backup. Called my brother Ethan and asked if he could crash at my place for a few days. He drove down the next morning. Veronica was not happy when he showed up with his overnight bag. Who's this? My brother. He's staying for a bit. I wasn't consulted about house guests. You don't need to be consulted. My apartment, my guest. She turned to Ethan. You can't stay here. We don't have room. Ethan just laughed. Nice to see you too, Veronica. Having him there helped. She couldn't pull her 3 a.m. stunts with a witness around. But it also made her escalate in other ways. She started calling my workplace. Not just emails now, actual phone calls. Told the receptionist she was my wife and there was a family emergency. When I didn't respond fast enough, she called back claiming I was having a mental health crisis and shouldn't be at work. HR pulled me aside. Is everything okay at home? I explained the situation. They documented everything and banned her number from the company phone system. But the damage was done. Everyone now knew my personal drama. That night, she was furious about being blocked. How dare they restrict me from contacting my boyfriend? Ex-boyfriend. And you were harassing my workplace. I was concerned about you. You're clearly having a breakdown. Look at you, pushing away the one person who actually cares about you. Ethan stepped in. He's not having a breakdown. He's setting boundaries. She whirled on him. This doesn't concern you. You're poisoning him against me. No, I said. You did that all by yourself when you declared yourself the supreme ruler of my life. I never said supreme ruler. I said I make the rules because someone has to, and you're clearly not capable. Get out, Veronica. Make me. And that's when she made her biggest mistake. She grabbed a kitchen knife. Not threatening anyone with it, just holding it while she ranted about how I'd regret this, how I was nothing without her, how she'd given me the best years of her life. Ethan quietly called 911. You think you can just throw away 3 years? She was saying, waving the knife for emphasis. I've invested too much in you to let you go now. I decide when this ends. Me. The police arrived within minutes. 2 officers, 1 male, 1 female. They knocked, identified themselves. I let them in while Veronica stood there, still holding the knife, looking confused. Ma'am, I need you to put the knife down, the female officer said calmly. Why, it's my knife, from my kitchen. Ma'am, please put it down. She set it on the counter. This is ridiculous. He's trying to throw me out of my own home. I showed the officers my lease, explained the situation, showed them the eviction notice I'd served. She's not a tenant, I said. She's a guest who won't leave. I'm not a guest, Veronica shouted. I live here. I make the rules here. The male officer raised an eyebrow. Ma'am, are you on the lease? No, but do you receive mail here? Yes. That makes it my legal residence. That might establish residency, but not ownership. This gentleman has asked you to leave his property. He can't do that. I decide when I leave. The female officer stepped forward. Ma'am, that's not how the law works. If you're not on the lease and the leaseholder wants you gone, you need to leave. I don't care about your laws. I make the rules in this relationship. Both officers exchanged glances. Ma'am, the male officer said slowly, the actual rules, the ones written in law, say you need to respect the eviction notice. You can't just decide you're exempt from legal statutes. Yes, I can. He's nothing without me. I control everything here. That's when she made her second biggest mistake. She shoved past the female officer, trying to get to me. You're going to regret this. The officer caught her arm. Ma'am, do not put your hands on me. Veronica yanked away. Don't touch me. I'll sue you. I'll sue everyone. She swung at the officer. Didn't connect, but the attempt was enough. They arrested her right there in my living room. As they cuffed her, she kept screaming about her rights, her rules, how they didn't understand the dynamic. I make the decisions here. Tell them, she yelled at me. Tell them how it works. It doesn't work, I said. That's why we're here. As they let her out, she was still ranting. This is temporary. I'll be back. You can't function without me. After they left, Ethan and I stood in sudden silence. Well, he said. That was intense. I found out later she was charged with assault on a police officer, resisting arrest, and criminal threatening, the knife incident. She spent the night in jail. Called me the next morning. I don't know how she managed that, demanding I bail her out. No. You have to. I'm your girlfriend. No, you're not. And no, I don't. This is your fault. If you just followed the rules. I hung up. Her sister eventually bailed her out, showed up at my apartment that afternoon to collect Veronica's things. She was apologetic. I'm sorry about all this. She's always been like this, thinks the world should bend to her will. Why didn't anyone tell me? Would you have listened? Love makes people blind. Plus, she's very good at seeming normal at first. We packed up Veronica's belongings. Clothes, toiletries, the throw pillows she'd bought. Her sister paused at the photos she'd hung during her 3 a.m. redecorating spree. Keep them or toss them. Toss them. As we loaded her car, she said, You know this isn't over, right? She doesn't give up easily. She was right. Veronica tried contacting me through friends, family, fake social media accounts. But there was a restraining order now, part of her bail conditions. Each contact was a violation. 2 weeks later, she showed up at my workplace despite the order. Security called the police. She violated her bail and went back to jail. At her hearing, she represented herself, told the judge that the restraining order was invalid because I couldn't make decisions without her approval. Said she had relationship authority that superseded legal authority. The judge was not impressed. She got 6 months for the assault and violations. Her sister told me she's been calling from jail, still insisting she makes the rules, and this is all a misunderstanding. It's been a month now. I changed my locks, properly this time, got a new phone number, and started therapy. Turns out, letting someone control your life for 3 years leaves some damage. But I'm free. I can see my friends without permission, visit my family without negotiation, play video games without someone hiding my equipment, make my own decisions about my own life. Last week, Derek asked how I was doing. Better, I said. Turns out when someone tells you they make all the rules, they're really telling you they don't respect any rules. Think you'll date again? Eventually. But next time someone says they make the rules, I'm out. Immediately. No second chances, no benefit of the doubt. Good boundaries, man. Yeah, turns out I am capable of making decisions after all. So that's it to everyone in a controlling relationship where your partner thinks they're the sole decision maker. They're not. The law doesn't care about their self-appointed authority. Document everything, get help, and get out. And when they tell you exactly who they are, believe them the first time. Thanks for following this journey, Reddit. I'm gonna go enjoy making my own rules for a while.